here about Rwanda. Beauty in its 1,000 hills follows the flow with purity, buildings that are so magnificent. Well, Rwanda is more than that. God values our foundation. Just like the sun rises each morning, so does our foundation lay victory in our palm.
Rwanda rwa gihanga rwaje kwanda, a land of 1,000 hills in which each hill heals the viewer's heart with its view. Rwanda, a land with a people whose blood are proud of having the calling of being Rwandan.
Well, true beauty comes from pain since the lost puzzle is seen. I've seen the innocent's blood, I've heard the screams, and I've heard the cries of the one I could have bared. And I've seen a kind that's terror itself, and I've seen the heroes that brought us back to our feet.
For more than 100 days, a few made it to the next mornings. And even if they did, they walked on bare feet in a land full of thorns, being called names like Nyanza, Wanzokawe, shattering the selfness of being human, being led by all that was mischievous.
Kids, what did you learn today?
Oh, the usual. Different testimonies, same ritual. Nothing much, really.
Look at her, a mother. Her eyes burn from affection, but if only you knew the stitches that are in her heart, the internal bleedings from each awakening memory, her soul air to hang on, love.
Mom, you were in Rwanda in 1994, right?
Yes, my child.
You were present when the terror that hit our country and left everyone with their own share was in Rwanda, right?
Yes.
You were there, right?
I was there.
And every day I hear somebody out there, out of the many events that we go to, giving their testimonies, their share of the sad past that they faced. And I know for a fact that if you were present, you have to have a share of this sad past. And so I'm inclined to ask, Mother, share your share with me.
My child, come close, let me tell you my story. I was a child, my world full of dreams, barely old enough to know the world when it all shattered, suddenly but violently, like the dream broken by screams. 31 years have passed now, yet the blood still stains the earth, not inside but in sorrow, in the tears that water the grave. I was young, no older than you, a flower barely in bloom. When the storm came, my sheds swinging around like the peaked sky, singing their cruel song, slashing through dreams, fathers, mothers, brothers, and sisters. The nights were heavy, filled with screams and sorrow. The air was thick, filled with the scent of fear. I ran, my feet cut by the shards of my shattered home. Behind me, my mother's voice, furnishing and swallowed by death, leaving us in sorrow. My father's laughter, fading in my fainted ears. The rivers ran red. The air was heavy. I was a child, just like you. When the nights came with knives, when the hands of those who once fed me became the hands of those who haunted me. I ran, my feet bleeding, my breath barely breathing, caught up in the fear that was bundling up day and night, hiding beneath the bodies that once held me close, that once told me it was okay, but it was not. I couldn't save me. I couldn't save them. I couldn't save us. And there I thought the world has ended with my family's last breath. I felt alone. I was alone, but not forgotten, because they came. They came. The ones who carried hope upon their backs. The inkotanyi ziraza zinkura mu muvura bahunda bari bankandagiyemo bamvuruga. They lifted me up, brave and burdened. They lifted the country upon their backs. They bore scars in their hand. They had had sorrow in their eyes, yet they lifted me. They lifted the country. They lifted the land from ashes, from the grave I had called my land. They too had lost, yet they fought. They too had suffered, yet they saved. For love of a land broken but not defeated. For a Rwanda reborn, washed in the tears of the grave. My child, this is my story, but it's also yours. Aged in the hills, whispered by the wind. When you walk on this land, walk with honor. For it was rebuilt in love, not hate. When you hear songs of our people, listen well, for they carry the voices of those who were lost. When you see the flag wave high, stand tall, for it not only flies in victory, but in unity.
Nibyo koko inkotanyi zarakotanye. Survivors are here to tell the story. Urwo rugamba rwarahinze ruhindura iteka. From ashes, a better future was built, a better country was built. And now, not only the survivors saw this, but we're here to learn from this story. Yarasigaye, arakira, arakura, asigarana inkovu zo kuvuga iyo nkuru.
Waruhanze yaruraze ubumwe n'ubupfura bw'Abanyarwanda bwaha icyitegererezo. Reka ntihaciye ingahe umunyamahanga yateye umufuka Rwanda amutegeka nk'ingaruzwa muheto. Kuvubwa amakimbirane yatashye Rwanda. Ibyo byatugeye kuri jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi. Hagati aho bintera kwibaza mbese mu gihe byakugendekeye bite?
Listen to me. I remember.
It was such a time with no food, yet we have harvested. With no water for the one that was there was sun, not colorless but red. With loneliness for some of ours were against us. With no sleep because you could never, ever dare to close your eyes safely. I looked for a friend and found a panga in front of me. I looked for a pestle to grind some isombe and only found some body parts remaining and blood in it. I ran to church to hide there and immediately ran back, for I only heard of the gun sounds, not the gospel songs, and the people clapping to the Lord as usually used to go. Running back, I met my uncle, hurriedly dressed. I don't remember. I just remember that I opened my arms so openly to hug him and get consoled as he opened his to hurt me and his wife with his hidden knife. What a life on earth. Nagizwe imfubyi ndi imfura iwacu. Mbura umfatizo nta n'imfashanyo mfite ngo mpfumbatishe barumuna banjye. Mbona imfura kuko yabifunganya kose ngo ture ko twakwifunyika. Hari huzuye imiboroge karishye kurusha imibirizi. Tugatarukaho gutarama, twamburwa ijambo, twambara injamba. Ariko koko kukiriya mata itabaye iy'amata. Why? Gusa Rurema yakoreye mu nkotanyi. Zigarura ubuzima zire mu buzima. Jye n'abarumuna banjye turakura. Ibikomere biromuka. Ubu twarakomeye. Kandi twariyubatse. But honestly speaking, it pinches me so much how some of the youth take commemoration so bad. Oh, to some, 7th April has become a date of plots. You gather together for strict slaying and showing off. Oh, another time to socialize. Oh, to sit at the back, please. Take your eyes back. Yes, we're not there, but your leaders and your parents are not gonna be there in the upcoming years. But you, youth, you are the one. And imagine what it will be looking like in the future if you didn't pay no attention. You know what? You got choices in front of you. There is fresh grass, wilted grass, light, darkness, hopefulness, homelessness, consoling, insulting, happiness, sadness. It's up to you to choose. So behave, for the case would be so real if it was under your suitcase. Remember, you're the fire extinguisher to down off, no, to remove completely that fire, the fire of sadness, darkness, hatred, and division and ideology. Rwanda, aguka, wunguka, maze ugere kure. Fly, not to just fly, but fly higher. No. Gaya makuru yanjye. Twibuke twiyubaka.
Well, it's bound to come at any cost. No human lives forever. Peace be with them.
It's true that those who leave a trace end up living themselves. No man is forever. No generation is forever. So to leave a new place for a new generation.
Today is April 7th, 40th commemoration of the 1994 genocide. I'm at home watching the TV. They're talking about it, and I don't know anything. Because I wasn't there, but I do care, okay? I do. So that's why I opened my phone and checked my stories. Post about Rwibutso, a message to the families of survivors still living, really, just to show that I care, even though I wasn't there. And there's simply the comments. They are, some are nice, really, trying to show common sympathy. Some are encouraging, showing empathy, but there's just a few of them that striking me in the moment. They're speaking twisted and false ideas about the country, lies about the nation, what it fears, what it was, what it is, and what it will be, destroying what it built for so long. But I know I have to stand tall. I have to be a warrior. Stand tall against all those nonsense, so that my might, no, Rwanda's might, wins against them all. Now the thing is, I don't know how. How, where, and what to reply to them. Because I wasn't there, and I chose not to care.
Yeah, we've heard the stories a couple of times. Some dark April, some ancient fight. We're never really there. Was it really ours? Just old names and faded scars. One evening, I stumbled upon a post where its sharper stones thrown carelessly at wounds not yet healed. They laughed at our grief, twisted truth into mockery, dressed denial in a costume of opinion. My thumb posed. I didn't learn much. I didn't have the chance. I had the option, I had the choice. But I just scrolled. Afterwards, I could feel it. The shame of silence, the shame that I had, the shame of ignorance. I'd fed the wrong seed. I'd put wheat where I should have used my chances. We're never there when the fire spread, but we're walking past the lost ones bled. Their voices echo in our days. Will we forget or change our ways? We have a choice we can't ignore. To open minds, to close no door, to stand with courage, to stand for peace. So one day, fear, ignorance will someday cease. So now I ask both you and me, the youth, what kind of world will we choose to be? What kind of country will we choose to build? Will we forget and regret, or will we rise, teach, learn, and see? What kind of generation will we choose to be?
On the other side, the want, the hurt, the thirst, the hunger to fill up. They heard the urge to fill it up. They couldn't bear the sight of the surface, for the surface was unclear. They went digging up for more. Their ears were willing. To them, the 100 days has a place in their heart. To them, no question is left blank.
Today is 7th of April, 2035, on the 31st commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. But here's the thing. In 2025, on that Wednesday night in our past, we stood, sat, listening, so many of us, but then I feel like I'm standing alone. I heard a mother sharing her testimony saying she wants us to extinguish everything else, the hatred, everything that burns and kills our country, and for us to light that flame that shows us the path. But I feel like I'm standing alone. It's true, I have my share to share, but for what use is it to have one source of water in the whole world, having billions and billions of people seeking from the same source? Twari dufite amahitamo. And I chose. And somebody else chose. We all chose. Today I stand for my country proud. Yes, the truth is fading, the lies, but there's so many lies that the truth that I'm sharing is too minimal. 10 years ago, and 10 years forward, what Rwanda are we making? What of the continuing generations? What of 30 years from now? What will happen? What if I'm gone? What if everybody who cares is gone? Because somebody else made a choice and I made mine, and they look nothing alike. Want to destroy our country and mine to build our country. What's your choice? Today's youth with hearts untold, live in a world where past feels so cold. Some of them so bright with hearts of fire, but shy away from speaking when lies conspire. On the screens they scroll and watch what's twists, but silence falls where truth should exist. Habwirwa benshi akumvwa beneyo. Our past is our lesson, our future is our mission. Tugomba guhagarara butwara umwanzi ataducurutse. Ibivugirwa ku mbuga ntibifite kutuyobya, kuko ni inshingano yacu kumenya ukuri. Abavuga amateka bayagoreka ntawamenya, wasanga barayabwiwe agoretse. Ariko ibyo ntibifite kubabera urwitwazo, ni ahacu ho kubakosora.
Knowing is a choice. Your knowledge is your power. Your knowledge is the full ownership of the love and respect of the country, Rwanda.
Is our path clear or rough? What is your choice? To stand on your feet or to fall? What are you doing? What are you doing? Dear youth, treasure the past, for the past is old and old is gold we can't afford to lose.
Are we really what they call us? Our people did what they had to do. Now it's our turn. It's our turn to hold on to what they brought to us. Never let darkness return to where light has been reborn. Never let hatred grow where love has been sown. And when you speak of Rwanda, speak with pride, for it was love that saved the soul. This is a mother's heart.
The darkness that Rwanda went through was so enough, with the nights and the days so rough and the process so rough. Rwanda rose from the hill and now lives in heaven. We choose to let the lights on and our eyes on. It's me and you.
Dear youth, dear Rwanda, choose to hold our hands when we say this. those who lost their lives, tuzahora tubibuka, nimuzazima duhari.